breaking news here on Texans today, and it's not the news that we wanted in regards to Stefon Diggs. Torn ACL, he will be out for the rest of this season. He tore his ACL with a non-contact injury up against the Indianapolis Colts this past week. Just heartbreaking because what he brought to this team, the leadership that Diggs brought, I mean, what he was able to do for this Texans squad in the short time that he's played for this team, he's been remarkable. And we don't know his future. He will be a free agent after this season, but I do know it is a huge blow to this Texans offense. So we'll have more to break down on this show, more injury updates, some possible trade rumors in just a moment. But, folks, this is why you subscribe. We're breaking down Texans news as soon as it happens all season long. Whatever happens around this team, I got you covered. So make sure you lock us in. Make sure you subscribe for the latest Texans news and rumors. As, like I said, just heartbreaking. Just really heartbreaking. Diggs having a good year so far. 47 receptions, almost 500 yards, 3 touchdowns on the year. Was on pace for around 1,000 yards, almost 100 catches, 6 touchdowns on the season. So he was having a good year. The chemistry was there with C.J. Stroud. He was really big in, clutch moments for this Texans team in the red zone on third down. So I don't know how the Texans are going to replace that. I don't know if they're just going to look inward or if the reports are true, if they're going to possibly add a receiver. So I want to hear from you folks at home. Let me know down in the comment section. Will the Texans add another wide receiver? Type A for add, type W for won't. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, perfect timing. Just scroll on down and let me know, do you think the Texans are going to add another wide receiver? I think the Texans will add somebody. Rather, either if it's in free agency or in the trade market. I hope it's, somebody who can really boost this Texans offense, give us another element that this Texans offense need. I could also see them saying, hey, we have Xavier Hutchinson, John Metchie. We like their progression. Nico Collins possibly coming back against the Detroit Lions. We don't need to rush and add somebody. But I do wonder the future of Stefon Diggs with this Texans franchise, with this Texans team. Will they re-sign him? He really bet on himself, and he really kind of helped the Texans out after the Texans traded their second-round pick in this year's draft for Diggs. He restructured his contract, and basically he's a free agent after this season. The Texans could have, kept control of him for a little bit longer, but they said, hey, we're going to guarantee all your money up front. We're going to make you a free agent after this season. Diggs was looking to cash in after a big year with the Texans. That doesn't look like it's going to be the case now for Stefon. Hopefully, the two sides can come to an agreement this offseason and Diggs can remain with the Texans. But depending on what moves they make in the next coming days, in the coming weeks before the NFL trade deadline, could be a huge, implication on whether or not the Texans will re-sign Stefon Diggs this offseason. So coming up, I have some trade targets. I have some more injury news around the Houston Texans. So don't go anywhere as I tell you about our amazing sponsor of today's program, and that is GameTime. Go check them out. They're my go-to ticketing app, and they should be your go-to ticketing app here online. If you're looking to get last-second tickets, there's no better place than GameTime. Where are my basketball fans at? The Rocket season is underway, and the easiest way to score last-second tickets is with our sponsor, GameTime. You can get great deals on last-second tickets and even see your seat view before you buy the tickets. All-in prices show you what you pay without hidden fees or expenses, and GameTime has zone deals. You pick the section, GameTime picks the seats for an average savings of 18%. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. They have a new feature called GameTime Picks. This basically filters out all the fluff and allows you to see the very best deals on whatever event you're trying to go to, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands upon thousands of tickets. You can see the very best deals at the very top of the queue. So get started today. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download GameTime today. What time is it? It's game time. So a little bit better on the news front in this regard. Aaron Wilson reporting Nico Collins is on the fast track to recovery. He's already been clocked at going 20 miles per hour. So looks like he should be good to go. Remember, after this week's game up against the New York Jets, he can be activated in that Week 10 game up against the Detroit Lions. So if there's a little bit of a silver lining with this Stefon Diggs news, it's that Nico Collins looks like he should be able to come back pretty soon for this Texans team after this Thursday night football matchup up against the New York Jets. And in my opinion, Nico Collins, obviously, we know he'll come back and more than likely he'll do his thing. But I think the biggest moment right now is it's time to step up for this man right here, Tank Dell. It's time for him to step up and be that dynamic receiver we saw his rookie season. The reason why we were so pumped for this wide receiver trio when the Texans did trade for Stefon Diggs, we need to see that rookie Tank once again. He needs to step up if this Texans team wants to take it to the next level. Last season, in 11 games played, he had 47 receptions, 709 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 152 yards after the catch. If Diggs is back next season, that's a good thing. But the more important part of this whole equation is Tank. I said it in the offseason, the Texans, I thought, had 3 wide receiver ones. Right now, Nico Collins, undoubtedly a wide receiver one. Stefon Diggs, I think he was a good wide receiver one. He wasn't a top-level wide receiver anymore, but he was a very good receiver. Tank Dell has started off a little slow. And I know he can really get back into it. I really know that Tank Dell can be a dynamic playmaker with the ball in his hand. I just need to see it this season. I need to see the Tank Dell swagger. He got a touchdown in this past game, and he had some really big plays. So hopefully he's on the right track to being that guy that the Texans can look towards, that the Texans can really rely on in big-time situations. Because behind Tank Dell, I don't know, really, Robert Woods, John Metchie, Xavier Hutchinson, Steven Sims. It's like they're guys, but I don't know if they're the right guys. So I want to ask you a quick question before we get into, some guys who can step up. I want to know down in the comment section, do you believe Tank Dell can return to his rookie form? Yes or no down in the comment section. I want to see all yeses because I truly believe in Tank. I truly believe that he's a dog. I love what he embodies with his love for the city of Houston, his love for this team, and I just can't wait for him to just come out of his shell and be that guy once again this season. So I'm typing my yes. Let me know your thoughts down below, as obviously there's other guys that can step up. Robert Woods, he's played decently, and he's been a guy whenever the Texans need somebody, if they're like, hey, we need somebody short-handed, we need somebody who we can trust, it's been Robert Woods. When there's muffed punts, they put Robert Woods back. Whenever they need somebody in a, quick pinch, Robert Woods is the guy. So he's a very underrated guy, and I know a lot of people wanted the Texans to release him this offseason. I, being one of them, I'll put my hands up. I thought, Xavier Hutchinson and other guys could step up instead of Robert Woods, but he's proven me wrong and said, hey, I'm a veteran on this team, and I can still contribute to this Texans franchise. Another guy who can step up, Xavier Hutchinson. He's made some big plays throughout this season, only 5 catches, but I feel like they've all been in big-time moments, big-time plays by Xavier Hutchinson this season. He will get a little bit of an extended role, and the same can be said about John Metchie, who C.J. Stroud said, we have 5 wide receiver ones this offseason, and he really was talking up Metchie, talking up about how much he's going to be involved in the offense. We haven't seen it so far. So could this be an opening for Metchie to possibly take that next step and be somebody who Texans fans are really excited about at the wide receiver position? And obviously, now that the trade deadline's here, the Texans just lost one of their top receivers. They're going to be linked to every single wide receiver available in the trade market. So here are some names that I just threw together with the Chat Sports crew who could be options for the Texans if they're looking to trade for a receiver before the deadline. Deontay Johnson is probably the top name from the Carolina Panthers. They look to be tanking. They look to be on the road to trying to get the number 1 pick once again and possibly replacing Bryce Young. So Deontay Johnson and even Adam Thielen are names that Texans fans should look at. Mike Williams with the New York Jets. They obviously traded for Devontae Adams, so Mike Williams kind of an odd man out there in New York. Could the Texans swoop in and trade for him? Jacoby Myers with the Las Vegas Raiders. They already traded Devontae Adams. I don't know if they'd be willing to trade Jacoby Myers because that would just say full-on tank mode, full-on that we are selling this season. I don't know if the Raiders are ready to do that, but if the Texans are willing to give up a decent pick for Jacoby Myers, he is a very good receiver. He's not a receiver 1, but he is a really good wide receiver 2. He could be a really good option for this team. And Darius Slayton with the New York Giants. I talked to our Giants host. He said it would not take much to get Darius Slayton from the New York Giants. He believes another team that could be looking towards the draft in the next couple of weeks, especially as we near the trade deadline. Could they be willing to part with a guy like Darius Slayton? Like I said, I'll keep you updated with all the news, all the rumors around this Texans team as things keep on happening to this team, and I'm going to keep on covering them. Whether it's news, whether it's trade rumors, whatever happens around this Houston Texans team, I got you covered. Follow me on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs, or hit that subscribe button for free Texans coverage all year long. Once again, the news coming out today, very sad news. Stefon Diggs, torn ACL. He's going to be out for the rest of the season.